Welcome to Hidden Hilltop Homestead. Today's vlog is going to have a little bit of everything in it. The first thing I want to do though is show you a super cute cat. This is a pincushion my grandmother got me for my birthday. She got me a few other things too, but I think it's super cute. I'm not sure if she made it. I don't think so. It might be kind of like a yard sale type find, but it's definitely homemade. Absolutely adorable. I'm going to stick a few pins on it and put it on my shelf. I think it's just so cute. And then she also got me this really cute little sewing machine. This is like a Home Goods Marshalls thing, I'm sure, but it's just a little antique sewing machine, and I have an antique sewing machine, so I'm going to put this on that and we'll just have, you know, sewing machines all over the place. But just another cute little thing for the desk. It was adorable. Wonderful little birthday trinkets. Now the other part she got me was some fabric, and I also ordered some flannel from Michaels that I wanted to show you. We'll kind of do like an unboxing together. I haven't seen what's in either of these bags yet, so we'll see. So I ordered 2.5 yards or 3 yards of flannel. This is just solid flannel from Michaels. I've never bought flannel from Michaels. I use this for the back of all my quilts. And I had coupons and reward things, so I used them up and just got a cut of this like mint green. I thought it'd be cute for a little crib size blanket. I really like the consistency of this though. It's very soft. It's a little bit thinner than what Joann's used to be, but it'll work. Of course, we now know that Michaels purchased all of Joann's intellectual property, so like the snuggle print flannels, solid flannel, they're probably going to have a larger range. But Michaels and Hobby Lobby are now my go-to for fabric, so I'm glad that this is usable and nice, and I can't wait to make something with it. So the next awesome part is this bag of mystery fabric. She definitely got this at a yard sale or an estate sale or something, but let's get in here and see what kind of goodies we got. So first we have a fat quarter that's actually from Joann's, 2 fat quarters, and these are like batik prints. That one's kind of like a dragonfly, and then the pink's kind of like a paisley print, but these are cute. And they're just your standard fat quarter size. I see a batik quilt in my future, but this next one is super cool. It's just circle geometric patterns, but I definitely think it looks like eyeballs, so this is most likely going to be used in a Halloween quilt. I have matching fabric for this, so that's super exciting. This piece is pretty. It's just some like paintbrush looking rainbow print, which I think would be great for like a teacher appreciation quilt. Super cute. And then we have these alligators and palm trees. So Florida, that's where she got all this stuff from. Love it. This is just a white with navy blue, gray, and orange leaf print. Cute for fall. And then there's a few more batik fat quarters, and these are just kind of floral print, stripe print, and they'll go along with these other ones. This is cute. It's like a watercolor print of like a forest or a meadow or something, and it's very pretty. I think it's going to give me several different design squares. I know it's meant for like probably a panel, but I think it'll be cute either way. Next, we have more batik fat quarters. Like I said, there's going to be a batik quilt in the future. I love the tie-dye look. That's just really, really cool. There's florals. There's kind of just like blobs, stripes, abstracts. I've seen 2 with dragonflies. This kind of has like, I don't know, like a V diamond pattern. Cute. And I think I have 9 total. Then we have this. I love this. This is my favorite. It's just watercolor florals. Really, really pretty. And it would also go with those batik prints too. Super, super cute. I'm excited to use this. Another batik, and this one's dragonfly. Super cute. Then we just have some sunflower print, which is perfect for summer quilts, floral quilts, or fall. I'll probably use this in the fall, honestly. And just another sunflower print. And then this one is florals that kind of remind me of oranges. But that's it. Now let's get into some sewing. I am working on an all flannel quilt that I'm going to have a tutorial for soon, but I am about halfway done with it now. Well, I'm working on it, almost halfway done. I'm currently sewing the rows together We're past the quilting stage, so now I'm just assembling everything, and then I'll be sewing. I'm sewing the blocks together to make the rows, and then I'm sewing the rows together, and I go one row at a time. If you are interested in a tutorial of how to make a rag quilt, I'll put that down in the description, and it's also on my playlist for how-tos. And now I'm just snipping the fringe, which I do between sewing every block. So I'm gonna work on this flannel quilt for a little bit and watch some TV and see how much I can get done. I'm currently watching the show, I think it's called The Mortician. It's on HBO Max, and it's about a guy who did cremations in the 80s in California and did some seriously like crazy stuff. So if you hear some weird stuff in the background, that's what it's the TV show.
Supposedly, Lamb told his daughter, actually, your son will be ruined by me.
I have about 6 quilts that I'm working on, and this one's the furthest along, but it does take a little bit longer because I'm sewing through 3 layers versus 2. I normally just have to sew through 2 layers of fabric, and it's a little bit harder to cut, and it takes a little bit longer to cut and sew. So I keep putting it off, but I need to get it done. I know these prints are very cute, and I know it's gonna sell quickly when it is finished. It's just sometimes you get burnt out on a project and you're just like, keep putting it off to finish it, and it just takes forever. Alright, I think I'm calling it on this for tonight. So I'm on row 6, and I have a few blocks left to add to 6, and then this is 4 and 5, that would be 6, and then 1, 2, 3. So once 6 is done, I will sew it all together and we'll be halfway finished. So now we're moving on to something a little more fun. This was supposed to be a St. Patty's Day quilt, and as you can see, it is very green, but I did not get it done in time for St. Patty's Day. Obviously, we're in June. This was supposed to be finished by like end of February / middle of February. So instead of just waiting for next year, I'm actually going to repurpose this into a 4H quilt. These are all the prints I have laid out for this, and basically I'm going to go through and decide what I want to take out and replace with some 4H fabric. Now, these 3-leaf clovers are probably going to go. If you don't know anything about 4H, the emblem is a 4-leaf clover. So I'm definitely going to get rid of those. And the back of this is very lime green, and 4H colors are more like this darker green color, like back here in the corner. So it's still a little bit off, but I think I can make it work. We're going to see how the fabric looks. So these are the 2 prints I have. This is kind of like a light blue green, and then it's got a darker green. I would call it like almost a blue green, a cool green, I guess is what you could call it, in the clovers, which that's like the true green of 4H. And it has the mottos, the 4 H's, the head, hearts, hands, and health. And then this one is a little different. It's got like the farm side of 4H. So those are the 2 prints we're going to incorporate into this, and we're going to see if we can make this work. I definitely feel like it's going to be interesting. All right, here is what I decided. So we're keeping the 4-leaf clovers, even though those are bright. These are more like on brand here. I love the plaid. The darker green goes well. And then the rest of these like lime greens are going to just be filler anyways. They actually kind of blend with the other different greens in this print. I know we have blue, orange, and yellow. I thought about trying to incorporate that into this too, but then I was like, I think we're just going to keep it with the green, and I'm going to just go ahead and cut out to replace all of these. These are the ones that I pulled and decided not to use. So there's 29 that I need to cut out of the 2 prints. I'm going to go ahead and take apart the squares I already have cut, and this is super simple. Everything's ready. I just got to replace the top fabric. And then I'll just put these in my pre-cut box and save these for next year, or if I have another quilt. I got this fabric from Joann's like 2 years ago, I think, and I've just been like hanging on to it, knowing eventually I was going to put together a 4H quilt. And I definitely have a little over a yard of each, so I'm probably going to be able to use this on at least 3 projects. All right, we have all of the new fabric cut, so I'm going to use my squares and make some sandwiches with the pretty 4H print, just like this, and pin it. And I only need to do 29 total, so this should go by pretty quickly, hopefully. And there we go. All right, these are finished, so these are ready to be quilted, and then once quilted I will lay them out and make the design of the quilt and start sewing it together. And I'm gonna get this done hopefully by the end of June, because I want to get it done before fairs, and those are just gonna go in my pre-cut box. So we're gonna put this aside and work on one last project tonight. This is Blue Christmas, so the Christmas quilt I've been working on. All of these are quilted, so all of those squares are done. The only thing I have left to do is this last print, and I ran out of bottom thread, and I needed this like royal blue color. I did not have one single bobbin anywhere, so I thought, but I got into my sewing box and got my bobbins out for my other sewing machine, and voila, we got some blue. Pretty sure it matches, but I'm going to unwind a little piece and compare. It looks pretty close. It's that same royal blue, and yeah, I'm fairly certain it looks the same. Pretty sure, yep, we're good. This will only take me a minute, but I'm going to transfer all of the thread off of that bobbin onto a bobbin for this machine, because that will not work on this machine. And even if it does, I don't want to risk it, because I don't want to jam anything up inside.
I'd rather be because you never know how long that trip is going to be. At least I got buddies hanging with me to go wherever I'm going, up or down. How do you look back on these days? You miss them? I don't miss them. I just kind of like miss the money. Would I do it again today?
Now I'm just going to finish quilting these last squares. All of them had one stitch needed, and then one of them needed to be completely quilted, which is just quilting the X in the middle. So this shouldn't take very long either. And then this will wrap up all the quilting for this Blue Christmas quilt. And then my next step would be to lay my blocks out in the design that I want and start sewing together. All right, everything has been quilted. So up here in the corner, we have glittery snowflakes, Christmas cookies, silly geese, gingerbread house, snowmen, penguins, snowflakes, stars that look like snow, more snowmen, swirly stars, and this is a stained glass print. I bought this for a Beauty and the Beast quilt, and then I bought a lot of it because it was only like $2 total. So I've been trying to put this in everything that I can, and it works here. I think it looks cute. And then we have one silver square, and that is the pine trees. But we are ready to do a design, but I'm going to call it for tonight. So thank you guys so much for checking out this quilt vlog, and I know I got a bunch of projects going on. My plan is to hopefully wrap up at least 2 of these quilts this week, so that'll be in next week's video. And then I also, of course, have that tutorial coming for a flannel how-to quilt, and then I'm also doing a few other projects of like how long it takes to make a rag quilt, and maybe like a week in the life of a full-time or part-time quilter. I'm not a full-time quilter. I wish I was, though, because I do enjoy doing it. But anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. Subscribe, leave me a comment, and I'll see you guys in the next one.